Addresses to a joint session of Congress are a combination of both ceremony and concrete policy proposals, and they're very important to the presidents because they will have just recently had their inaugural addresses, which for President Biden, over 40 million people tuned into that. But then there's kind of been several months of a lapse, and this particular address is postponed for several months because of coronavirus and the surrounding legislation. And so this is an opportunity for, again, where there'll be tens of millions of people that will tune in, and you're going to use this to make your best case for both what your administration has accomplished in just the first short months, but also what it's going to do in the future. But something like this typically happens starting with going back to Ronald Reagan after the first few months when a president enters office, and then the first formal State of the Union address will happen in the next January. And so the thing at the center of his agenda right now that will likely get the most amount of time is infrastructure legislation, like to spend several trillions of dollars to improve the roads and highways and infrastructure, also wireless and broadband, and even try to do things to solve the climate change and issues that exist right now. And in addition to that major piece of legislation that hopes to have to pass by July 4th, there's also going to be proposals about paid leave, extending the child tax credit, things like that are really pro-family, that will cause additional spending and likely taxes, but things that the president thinks are going to be popular. So he's going to use this event that's could be watched by over 40 million people to try to get the public on the side of his agenda, because he will need the support of Congress in order for this to happen. So this is live television in prime time at 9 p.m. Eastern, and an audience of tens of millions of people. And so there's always the risk for something to occur out of the ordinary. And so that's part of the reason I think people will tune in. And also this year, I think there's just a lot of history surrounding this address. You're going to have both behind President Biden, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and Vice President Kamala Harris. It'll be the first time ever where two females will be sitting behind a president when they give this address. And so that's going to be very historical.